Hey guys, I hope you're all doing well and welcome back to my channel. Today's build is a Chateau style mansion and I built it in Del Sol Valley on the 64 by 64 lot. This was quite an ambitious project, especially after taking such a long break and then coming back and building such a big house like this. But it was like a good challenge, you know, it was like preparing me for my future builds. I don't really build these kind of like this style of house that often, as I usually just stick to like modern builds, but I really liked the way this house looked and I saw this house initially on Pinterest and I was actually surprised when I saw it because I've pretty much seen like every single modern house and stuff like that like on Pinterest, and then when I came across this one I was actually surprised and I really liked the way the balustrades looked on this house, so I was like, I really need to take inspiration from that and do something like that in The Sims as well. So yeah, this was like the first initial project I was working on coming back to YouTube after like a 2-week break. And this house has like 4 bedrooms and so many bathrooms, like there's like a bathroom in every corner of this house, which is good in a way, as your Sims wouldn't have to like go to a different bathroom. This house had a lot of unique components to it which really surprised me, like that edge bit that comes out and it's like curved like a balcony looking out towards the pool was like really eye-catching for me. I really wanted to do something like that, so I feel like that turned out really good. But the annoying thing was this build took so long to build. It was like over 10 hours long just to build this entire build, so there was a lot of cuts in between the build when I was building the garden area as well as like the inside. I didn't really show every single bit that I did as it would just take way too long. And those little pieces, like the balustrade pieces, I think they're from Discover University, I think, and they're really good decor pieces. Like I feel like they look like so good. I feel like I'm going to use that a lot more in my future builds, but I don't know if it would really suit my future builds because I usually just build modern, but I guess I'm just gonna have to like try out building some new stuff, I guess. The pool towards the end you'll see has like a curved bit like close towards the house, and I thought that was like such a good element for that swimming pool. Also, the swimming pool is completely functional. I did test it out, and yeah, I just made sure to put stairs everywhere so that your Sims can go to every single part of the build. I liked what I did with the balcony area at the back, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna copy it, not copy it, but do something similar and put it at the front of the house as well, because like I really wanted this house to have like a grand entrance. And I was just using those little balustrade pieces again, just putting it all like throughout the entire house, which took a very long time, and accompanied with the very busy garden. It took so long to put all of those little pieces down, which was so annoying, but in the end it did turn out really good, so I'm not really complaining. And I'm using this fountain that came with Growing Together, which I wish it wasn't in like the debug. I don't know if it's in debug or live edit mode, but it was in one of them and I really do like that fountain. I just wish it wasn't there. I don't know why they put it there. I mean, I guess they use it in the actual world that it came with, so I guess that explains why it's in live edit or debug, but I don't know, I just feel like it's a really good fountain to use in pretty much any single house, whether it's modern or not. And so far you can see like the outline of the build. It's quite a big home, but it's not really that big, like compared to like the lot size. Most of it is like accompanied by the garden, so like there's not a lot of space to put in like furniture and stuff, but because there's like an outskirt or like a skirt around the entire build and there's those balustrades on top, you can use that bottom floor if you wanted to as like extra space if you had like a lot of Sims in your game. And here is where I built the curved pool area, and I really like this. And yeah, as I said, it's completely functional, your Sims can use it, there's no problems with using it at all. And yeah, that was just a bunch of those pieces that came with Spa Day. I don't even know what it's called. but it did come with spa day. That's all I know. And I tried to like basically, because the flooring around it is a platform and the swimming pool is on a foundation, they can't connect. So the way I went about that was I put stairs that was like sideways to the swimming pool, and the Sims doesn't even use the stairs. Like I don't know if that makes sense or not, but when you put the stairs sideways, it creates like a little path that your Sims can just like walk across into the swimming pool, so it looks like there's actually flooring. Your Sims will not be going like up and down, glitching through the floor, which is really, really good. I found that out while I was testing, so I was so happy when I found that out. It was really good. And this area had like you see like how the balcony's like kind of like, I don't know what the exact word for that would be, like it was like coming out from like the actual top part of the house, I guess. It was very empty, so I placed plants and flowers and bushes everywhere. I don't think I included colourful flowers here, which could have been a missed opportunity. I feel like it would have looked quite interesting actually, but I didn't end up doing that. I did use a lot of vines to like cover up like the peeking out of the balcony, even though like it's not really necessary, but the inspiration photo I was looking at had something similar to this, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do the exact same. I did really like the way it looked, so I was just like, you know what, if I like the house, I'm gonna, you know, take it for inspiration. And honestly, most parts of this build, I covered it with those like little shrubbies. I don't even know what they're called, but they're like they're cut in a sophisticated way. Like they're a very interesting plant. It looks like it's very well kept, and I feel like for Sims that live in this kind of house, they definitely have some sort of gardener and like probably like a butler, I guess, and a maid. They'll definitely have that kind of lifestyle if they're living in this house, which is what I was envisioning while building this build. And the same thing with the wall vines as I did in the background, in the back garden, I also replicated here because, you know, why not? It's a bit overgrown looking, I guess, but I do really like the way it looked. And I did also make sure to paint every single wall in this build, and I also added a lot of flooring so that your Sims do not complain about like poor flooring and stuff like that, or poor decor choices or whatever the hell it was when you don't use wallpaper and stuff like that. Your Sims complain and stuff, which is quite annoying. I mean, you could turn it off in the settings, but I'm sure some people wouldn't want to do that. And yeah, now the video skips onto me completing the garden area. So I didn't actually know what to do with the area of this house. I was really confused because I was like, there's so much empty space. I don't want to make unnecessary space with like building like big rooms and stuff like that for no reason, because there's already a lot of space within the house. So I was like, how can I fill this space up without making it look like it actually fits with the house? So I was looking at some inspiration and saw very neatly designed gardens in like really big manors, like really big houses. So I was like, I'm gonna take inspiration from that and do pretty much the same thing. So they had like a very nice hedge, I don't even know what it's called, like a hedge design throughout the entire garden, and it looked really, really nice. And it's kind of just like a place where you could just go and like wander and walk around and sit, I guess, and admire your views, I guess. And especially because a lot is on the highest like floor, they could just like look out into the distance, which I thought was really nice. I did add a lot of like benches and seating areas throughout the garden, so you know, people can like sit around and stuff. I did really like the idea of adding a statue in the middle of the circular hedge in the middle. And I don't think I found any other statue that was similar to that yet different, because this statue was like a man fishing and I don't know if I wanted that in the house, but you know, in the end I did end up going with it, and I don't think it looks too bad. And I used some I think they're called lavenders. I used some lavender plants or flowers throughout like the inside of the hedge designs, and yeah, I feel like that really stood out from the garden. Onto the furnishing, I incorporated a lot of I actually incorporated a lot of modern furniture pieces into this house, in the garden as well as the interior, because I don't know if it's just me, but I don't know how to style like very old-fashioned stuff in The Sims. Like, even though nothing in The Sims looks that modern, it doesn't even look that old either. So like, I don't know what time period it like fits in. So I just like went with like a typical, like as if the inside is renovated and like it's more modern. Maybe a more modern family has moved into this house. So I tried to keep it modern as well as like contemporary. I mean, they're kind of the same thing, but I did want this house to have like some sort of like farmhousey vibe. So I did want to go with these wooden cupboards that came with cottage living. I do really like them, but they kind of look really plain. I do end up changing the flooring as well, because everything just ended up being way too white and I did not like the way that looked. I don't know, I wanted a mix between modern and, I don't know what it's called, like modern and olden times, you know. I didn't want it just to look one way, you know, maybe. Plus, like most of the time when people download builds from the gallery, they end up changing the interior, or they like getting rid of all the interior, and then like as they play they add on to it. So, you know, it's up to each person's preference, but when I was building this house, I really did like the way this looked, so I just kept it like this. And if people don't like the way it looks, they can easily just change it. And I do like the cottage living build item, like all the little pieces that come with the kitchen, but there's just like something about that blue in the white swatch that I don't like. And the white never comes in like a clear swatch for the top cupboards. It's always like, it always has like the yellow or the blue. I wish it did come in like an all white color. And as you saw like earlier, I was trying to I was trying to like use a cupboard inside of a cupboard to cover the blue part of the blue curtain bit, and it just didn't work, so I just ended up getting rid of it. And I actually used a different cupboard from a different kitchen set, which I think actually turned out pretty good. It was what I wanted, like just like a full clear white, and yeah, I was pretty happy with the end result. I didn't know how to make this living room work, so I just made it modern as usual. So like most of my builds always have to be modern. I don't know, there's just something about old furniture, I don't know, I can't make it work in a build. I have to make it modern, as if it's like been renovated. It's just like my preference, you know, like I just like that kind of style more. And for a very long time that space was left open, but then I eventually thought like that space was way too big, so I had to like somehow divide the space. And the way I thought of doing that was just putting a wall in between the kitchen and the living room, so like it kind of feels divided from like the entry hallway, I guess. And I tried to play around with like wallpaper colors and swatches. I used bricks behind the kitchen. I also use it on the other side, which I do end up changing towards the end of the video. I don't even know if it's in the video, but I do remember changing that towards the end of me finishing this build. And yeah, for the bedrooms, I did have to play around with it a lot, and I actually don't show you guys, but I don't even know what it's called. I don't know if it's the first floor or the underground or like the basement, I guess, but this house goes down to the basement, or the first floor, however you guys would like to call it. And in that area we have a bedroom, 2 bathrooms, like an ensuite and a main bathroom, and there's also a private cinema room with its own ensuite as well. So there's actually 3 bathrooms in the basement, which I don't know why I included a lot, but I was thinking about the convenience of, like, you know, if you needed to go to the toilet during the cinema, you could just go while you're in the cinema, if that makes sense. Like, there's a separate room inside the cinema, so you don't have to exit the dark room to go into another room, if that makes sense. And I also included another kitchen in the basement. I keep calling it a basement, but yeah, I think that's what we're gonna go with now. It's the basement, because there's just so much room down there, and I just didn't use it because I was just like, there's no way I can furnish all of that while my game is lagging with like 1,000 hedges on the first floor. There was just no way. So yeah, I do also like the way I put the, I don't know what they're called, but the cloud rugs in that room, like the way I positioned it. I think that it was like an interesting take on incorporating a rug in a room, but also making it not look like a rug. And onto the master bedroom, which has been sped up a lot because at this point it was taking a lot of time to like fit all of this into like a 20-minute video. And like a couple seconds ago, when you guys saw me do that little laundry area in the hallway on the 2nd floor, I really liked that idea because it was just like a way to fill up that space. I really liked it. And this is the master bedroom's walk-in wardrobe, I guess. I really do like the way this turned out. I don't know, every single time I use a Dream Home Decorator pieces, I end up making the walk-in wardrobe so different. Like, I always use different pieces every single time. I feel like I might make a video on that one day and just like find the best pieces and put them together to make like a perfect walk-in wardrobe. And I really wanted this bathroom to feel grand. So there's 2 sinks, there's 2 toilets, there's 2 showers, but there's only 1 bathtub. But you know, it's fine. It will do. And I do end up changing the wallpaper, yeah. And yeah, back to the master bedroom, just adding some like small decor pieces, and we are onto the screenshots of this build. I really do hope you guys enjoyed this build. If you did, please let me know by leaving a like and subscribing, because this took such a long time to finish. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. My gallery name is Taanzer with 2 A's, and I'll see you all in the next build. Goodbye.